Hi everyone, this is Andrew, content creator taking up space in YouTube to share some words, thoughts, and stories through my writing or talking about them with you. For every video that I put out, there will always be some links sa comment section or some links popping out sa taas. You can always check them out. But this video is particularly special. This is not my usual Friday upload on my YouTube channel. And I decided to go with this because it's my birthday today, September 16. And to be more specific, it's my 30th birthday. And for many, they dread that number because they feel that they're moving on from a different phase already, from 20s to 30s. So it's a reminder that we are getting older. Well, it is what it is. You need to come into terms with the inevitable things in life and embrace it. Kasi the more that you resist it, the more that you're going to stress yourself. But it makes sense for people to feel this way because the 20s is a period of our lives where we encounter the onslaught or the first wave of adulting issues. And if nalampasan mo ang 20s na wala ka man nang na-achieve, na hindi mo nakuha yung mga goals that you set out for yourself a decade ago, nung kakagraduate mo pa lang, you'd feel that it is a lost opportunity or a wasted time. Here's what happens kasi. Let's try to deconstruct kung bakit natin nararamdaman yun. When you're 20 years old, you're on your senior year in college, excited ka na to face the world, then graduation, job application, then being a new hire, then bills, then promotion, then bills, then investment decisions, then bills, developing new hobbies, skills, and then bills, adulting friendships, moving out. There are some people who pursue higher studies, there are some that go to different countries, and there are some who decided to set out their own families. But with all of those things, there's no clear-cut pattern or rule kung paano ba natin i-live out yung 20s natin. We all have varying endeavors and circumstances, and as what I've said in a spoken word piece about quarter-life crisis, I call these things as normal crises in our lives. There will always be these different dilemmas na may encounter natin on different periods of our lives, and that's a sign of us living. Struggle is a sign of living. And so with that, I wanted to give 5 key lessons I learned on my 20s that will be helpful for the survival of any millennial or Gen Z or any person who's trying to soldier on this 10-year period that is the 20s. I'd like to think that these things that I'm going to share are very useful for you to survive the 20s because it's not going to be easy. Sa bawat 5 key lessons na i-share ko, there will always be some personal application, quick stories about what happened in my life that resonates on the words that I'm going to share. What you'll notice is that there is something special on all of these adulting tips. So stick around at the end of the video so that I could give you the explanation for that. So without further ado, here are 5 key lessons I learned on my 20s. Number 1, the first attempts are not supposed to be perfect. They just need to be done. The 20s is a good period for us to explore new things, new hobbies, new places. We are financially able. We are embracing independence more than ever paglabas natin sa university. But this is also a period of our lives where we're obsessing on perfecting the first step. And we're catching ourselves on the loop na kailangan maayos muna ang plano, wala mo ng doubts, wala mo ng questions, everything is so laid out. But because you're on loop at lagi mong iniisip kung paano mapaperfect yung plan, you have never made your first move. You're too obsessed on sticking to the plan, and for every circumstance na hindi pasok sa plan, you take it as a signal na huwag mo nang subukan. And with that kind of mindset, you end up not doing things at all or delaying these things for the longest time. This is the analysis paralysis. For example, in my writing, the perfectionist that I am wanted to make sure na okay muna ang thought, ang point ko bago ko isulat yon. But what I just really needed to do is just to write down the draft. No matter how shitty the draft is, it's something that's going to push you to continue doing more steps. Pag nagawa mo na yung very critical first step, kung titinan nyo sa YouTube channel ko, if you look at my first video ever, it's one of my cringy videos. Kasi ang pangit ng ano. Pero at that time, sinubukan ko na lang na i-upload yun kasi I know that after the next few videos, after 10 videos, after 50 videos, and right now, after 83 videos, I'll be uploading better videos than my first one. And you have to allow yourself to make these imperfect moves because that is the only time you can move forward with your life. Pero syempre, I'm not saying that you have to be reckless na sige, go lang ng go na hindi mo na kailangan pag-isipan at all. No, you still have to have a genuine intention on why you wanted to pursue things, why you want to try things. Naalala ko at the smack at the middle of my 20s when I wanted to pursue my master's, there's this imposter syndrome na qualified ba ako mag-apply sa master's, hindi ba natenga na yung knowledge ko, yung skills ko because I was working for 5 or 6 years. And anong kailangan kong gawin para ma-accept sa masters? And at that time, I was too afraid to pursue something because nakikita ko siya as masters. It's a very daunting task. It's a very big project in my life. But what I simply did is to break it down to simple steps. And the smallest step that I could initially do is go to the websites of the different schools that I wanted to apply for. That's just it. Hanapin ko lang yung mga websites na yun, get the links of the application forms, downloaded the forms, and that's it. That's the first step. Kung kukonsider mo yon on the enrollment process, kung titinan mo yon in terms of the interview or the application for any scholarship, those things appear to be very big, pero ang kailangan mo lang talagang gawin is to download the application form. That gets the ball rolling. For you right now who wanted to pursue a bigger life project of yours, it is overwhelming because di mo alam kung paano siya i-digest na maayos. So it's better for you to break it down to small steps. Try to do that very first small step and you'll go a long way. So the one thing that I wanted to emphasize here is that those who tried, no matter how imperfect their actions were, are still significantly better than those who obsessively planned on things but never made the first step. Number 2, think of health as an investment. If we revisit the traditional definitions of health and investment, syempre isipin mo agad is health is about the body, investment is about, wallet and our finances. But let's try to merge the two concepts of these two terms. Let's start with investments. It's a money matter, di ba? Kung narinig niyo pa ulit-ulit kung sinasabi kanina na bills, we have to accept that expenses will never stop. As you continue living, there will always be some expenses and you have to embrace that fact, that reality. Once you do, that's the only time where your options get magnified. So if your current salary or job is not enough to meet the expenses load that you have, ang clear solution for that is to activate an investment vehicle, no matter how small that investment is. And in order for that to happen, the truth of the matter is you really need to find an additional source of income or you need to cut down your expenses para magkaroon ka ng seed fund for the investment. One fact that we need to embrace is hindi tayo lahat pinanganak na mayaman. Unfortunately, there are some of us who needed to do more. So, ang critical dito is the earlier that you start, the better. And tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, you can easily start small. There are a lot of options out there. May explore mo lang yung mga options na yon for even small investment decisions if you embrace the facts or if you embrace the realities that I said earlier. And another thing that I want to highlight here is time is your friend. The bigger the time horizon is for you to have a longer period in taking care of your investments, the better it is na kaya mong ma-shoulder yung mga risks that comes along the way. Because the longer you delay having an investment, the higher the cost will be. That's economics 101 of inflation. Now, let's talk about health. Balikan natin, why do we invest? Diba? It's for the future. And investments are things that could enable us, empower us in the coming future or reduce the risk that's going to happen. Now, apply that context to health. One thing that we needed to embrace is the good things that you are doing to your body now, whether it be through exercise, through good diet, through proper rest, or avoidance of toxins. These are things that's going to be beneficial for your future self and it would even lessen health risks. In the same way that there are some investment decisions na parang, ba't ko to kailangan gawin? Hindi ko naman nararamdaman kagad yung benefits ng mga investments na to. The same thing can be applied on the investment that is for your body. There are things that you need to do right now for the good of your body na hindi siya ganun ka-exciting gawin, na hindi siya nagme-make sense because you don't understand yet the science of a healthy body. It's really important for you to study more on that. But all of these things, mararamdaman mo yung benefits 10, 20, or even 30 years from now. And the problem of that is if you delayed investing on your body now, when the harms have already accrued in the latter time, it's very difficult for you to rectify or habulin yung lost time for you to take care of your body. Ang sinasabi ko kanina, time horizon is your friend. The earlier that you start, the easier it is for your body to adjust to your needs. Looking back, the moment that I got a good paying job, I initially focused on, sige, ano bang investment ang pwede kong gawin? Even if I was just on my early 20s, sinimulan ko na siya kagad. Siguro the only regret that I had in my life is I realized only on the latter half of my 20s na kailangan ko pang i-diversify yung investments ko, that I don't just need to stick to one. Marami akong investment vehicles na pwedeng gawin. And you need to learn to put your eggs on different baskets.